Hi guys, this is Heart Secrets and Horizons of the Philippines, and for today's video, we will be talking about the different problems a huge age gap relationship might encounter, especially if you're dating a younger Filipina. Now, as I've already discussed in my previous video, which you can check out here, there are many reasons why a lot of Filipinas prefer older men. It's not just about the money or the green card, like some people say. There's emotional maturity, stability, and the desire to be with someone who knows what he wants in life. But I always say, be realistic. If you're an older foreigner or even a local man, my honest advice is to try to keep the age gap within 15 years. No, this is not a universal law when it comes to dating, but you have to consider that the bigger the age gap, the more complex the relationship becomes. And yes, while there are successful age gap relationships out there, they are not as easy to maintain as people might think. So in today's video, we're going to talk about the real life challenges couples face when the age gap is just too big. One of the biggest problems, you're in different life stages. Imagine this. You're a 52-year-old man who's already had a career, probably a divorce, or maybe even grown-up kids. You've been through life's ups and downs and just want peace, a partner to settle down with, maybe even early retirement. But your Filipino girlfriend is just 22. She just finished college. She wants to explore, start her career, try new things, go on beach trips with her friends, maybe even go or attend parties and concerts. Sure, she might say she's ready to be a wife and mom, but in many cases, she's in love with the idea of love, not the daily reality of being in a marriage. That realization usually doesn't come until a year or two into the relationship, when she starts asking herself, is this really what I want forever? I've seen couples where the man wanted to sleep by 9 p.m., while the Filipino girlfriend still wanted to go out for midnight milk tea runs. It's not just about the age, it's about rhythm, lifestyle, and expectations. Next is social stigma that is especially strong here in the Philippines. If people see a 60-year-old foreigner walking hand in hand with a girl who looks 20, expect whispers. It doesn't even matter if your love is real. In the eyes of society, she's a gold digger and you're a dirty little old man. I know a lot of Filipinas who married their husbands who are 20 years older or more than these Filipinas. They truly love each other. But even during church, people would stare and gossip. Relatives would even give unnecessary comments just because of the huge age gap. Toxic people online would leave comments that contain laughing emojis or sarcastic comments like sugar daddy goals on photos of these couples with large age gaps. Even if you don't care what others think, your Filipino partner might feel the pressure. The constant judgment might hurt her confidence, especially if she's still young and sensitive to other people's opinions. Even if you're deeply in love with each other, you'll have to face your differences in interests. Let's say you're into jazz or the Beatles, and she's into SB19 or Taylor Swift. You like to relax with wine and soft music. She wants to go to KTV with her barkada or friends and sing love songs on the top of her lungs. Even simple things like TikTok or gaming might not appeal to you, but it's a big part of her world. You might want to watch historical documentaries, but she's laughing at memes and short reels on her phone. Again, this doesn't mean the relationship is doomed, but it does mean that you'll need to compromise. And sometimes one partner ends up pretending to enjoy something just to make the other happy. That can be exhausting over time. Here's another one, power imbalance. You're older, you're more financially stable, and you probably have more life experience. Naturally, you might feel like you know what's best for the relationship. But when that crosses the line into control, that's where problems start. There are cases here in the Philippines where older foreigners are dating younger Philippine girls. Usually, men pay for everything: rent, food, clothes. And then these men started controlling who their young Filipino partners could talk to, what they could post, and even what they could wear. When these younger Filipinas complained, here's the usual card they'd use against these Filipinas: I pay for everything. I know what's best for us. That's not love, that's power. And sadly, it happens more often than we admit in age gap relationships. Respect must go both ways, no matter the age. Now let's talk about life goals. A man in his 50s might be already thinking about, let's build a peaceful life in the province. Meanwhile, his 24-year-old Filipino girlfriend might be dreaming of starting her own business, building her career, or traveling to Japan or Korea. One couple I know had this exact problem. He was ready to live off his pension and farm a small land in Negros, but she still wanted to work in Manila, meet new people, and take online classes. Eventually, they grew apart, not because they didn't love each other, but because they were headed in two opposite directions. Even if both of you speak English, communication problems can still happen, especially if you're from different generations. For example, an older man might say something like, girls your age should not be drinking too much, and he means it in a caring way, but she might take it as control or judgment. Or he might joke about something that was funny back in the 80s, but now it's considered offensive or cancel worthy. These misunderstandings add up, and because one partner has had more time to form strong opinions, compromising might feel like losing control. Your friends are your age, her friends are her age, so where do you both fit? She might feel out of place during your poker nights or wine dinners. Your friends talk about mortgages, retirement, and colonoscopies. Meanwhile, her friends are talking about BTS, skincare routines, and where to get the best milk tea in Cebu. Take this scenario as an example. An older guy tried to join his young girlfriend's Barkada outing. They were polite, but he ended up sitting quietly the whole time, not relating to a single thing they said. Later, he told her not to go out with them anymore, which led to a fight. If you can't understand or respect each other's social needs, it becomes isolating. A lot of people say age doesn't equal maturity. That's true, but usually the more life you've lived, the more you've matured. So while you might want a quiet life, she might still want excitement. You might think she's being too emotional, and she might think you're being too cold. Again, take these as an example. An older man got annoyed because his 21-year-old Filipino girlfriend kept posting about their relationship problems online. For her, that was normal. For him, it was immature and disrespectful. If you're not on the same page emotionally, you'll end up misunderstanding each other again and again. In Filipino culture, family matters a lot. And while some families are supportive, there are others who will oppose the relationship, especially when the man is much older. If you're 55 and your Filipino girlfriend is 23, her parents might be the same age as you or even younger. That can be awkward, especially during family events. Worse, if you already have kids and they're close to your girlfriend's age. Tension will likely build. Your kids might not accept her. Her siblings might not accept you. Family drama adds unnecessary pressure, especially when the relationship is already battling judgment from outsiders. And finally, let's face reality. Health issues will come for the older partner first. Here's another example. A 60-year-old foreigner had a stroke. His 25-year-old Filipino wife had to take care of him full time. She was suddenly thrust into the role of caregiver, all while raising their baby. She never complained, but she admitted that she never expected to deal with that too soon. These are things younger partners don't always think about. But if you're going to be in a serious age gap relationship, you have to prepare for these eventuality. So let's wrap it up. Huge age gap relationships face real challenges such as different life stages, social stigma, your different interests, and power imbalance within the relationship, different life goals, communication problems, different social lives, and different maturity levels. Families might not approve, and different health problems that eventually show up. I'm not saying it's impossible, but it takes emotional maturity, patience, honesty, and a whole lot of understanding to make it work. That's why I always advise to keep the age gap within 15 years if you want the best chance at success with a younger Filipina. Not because love has limits, but because life does. What do you think about the points I emphasize in this video? Let me know your thoughts by leaving a comment below. Once again, this is Heart Secrets and Rises of the Philippines, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!